That's what I really am, and all I want to be. It may take some time, it may be hard to find, but see me beautiful.
I have a concern about two narratives that seem to be, in my view, being grafted on to the NVC paradigm. And one is this movement to try to educate people about their quote-unquote privilege. It creates a problem in a number of ways. It is treated by those enthusiastic about doing that as if this is a neutral, objective term, when in fact, most of the time, it carries a moral judgment of unearned privilege or undeserved privilege. And what Marshall is saying, the word deserve is the most dangerous word in the English language. And I hope that that itself would be enough to raise some yellow caution lights about this movement. In addition, it confuses together something that Marshall and myself was meticulous about wanting separating, and that is separating our evaluations, whether they be negative or positive judgments or moral judgments, from our observations. And when I say to you, I'm concerned about privilege or white privilege, I am compounding together certain observations, such as you having access to resources that perhaps people of different ethnicity do not have, along with my evaluation that this is a troublesome thing, inconsistent with my values. I'm not separating it. And this concerns me deeply because that feature of NVC, of meticulously separating out observations that which everybody could agree if they saw a video from our concerns about what we're observing. To use a metaphor, there was an old TV program in the USA where the TV detective used to iconically say, when investigating a case and interviewing a witness, just the facts, ma'am. So I can easily imagine him, if one of the witnesses said, I saw white privilege out the window, he would of course say, just the facts, ma'am. And this is of deep concern to me. Some people think of it as semantic ass-splitting, but to me it's a core of NVC that is in danger of being diluted. There are people in our network, including myself, who are very concerned about inequalities of resources and minorities not having access to the same resources and options as others. And they are trying to address this under the umbrella of NVC by having workshops on what they call privilege, to educate persons about their quote unquote privilege and to educate them about how that is costing others suffering. And so far, so good. The problem is these are the very folks who are very concerned about people being responded to on the basis of their ethnicity. And yet, if you walk into the room in one of these workshops, you're going to be classified based on your ethnicity. And there are going to be all kinds of assumptions made about you in one of these workshops that well, if your skin is this color and your features are a certain type, that you couldn't possibly be aware of what it's like to have a policeman treat you with disrespect, and that you need to be educated without checking with you about what you already know. So this is a very frightening narrative to me going on within the NVC community, that at the same time as trying to address the issue of people being judged on their ethnicity, to judge people on their ethnicity when they get labeled white. And compounding it is using the word privilege as if it were an observable, neutral term, when it's mixing together the fact that I believe you have some options that you didn't earn, and I do not like that. I have a judgment about that. I believe this is wrong. I'm not neutral about that at all. And so this is very troubling. It's particularly disturbing if it's being done in the NVC community and being done under the umbrella and name of NVC. It will change, it will, to me, contaminate the meaning of what NVC is. And NVC can start getting looked at, for better or worse, not as a unique paradigm of communication of how we can exist in the world, but as one of many social activist organizations that are trying to fix some specific social problems in the world. Yes, and part of the pain I experience when I hear this term, white privilege, does connect to my ethnicity. Certainly many people will look at me and put the label white, but when I have to fill out government forms, I put other. I don't like being in any of those boxes. My parents were Jewish, and that is also a source of my pain about what I call this privilege awareness movement. Historically, privilege and the implication that people shouldn't have it has been the source of horrors, genocide. Part of the justification for the Nazi genocide was that Jews had unearned privilege, that they had somehow unethically obtained it. And the same with the Cambodian killing fields, and the same with the Red Guard Revolution in the 70s in China. Has a very bad history. Even just the implication that there's unearned privilege is very dangerous in my view. It's perhaps even more strong in me when I remember the German genocide, because my parents barely escaped from the genocide, and my grandmother and my aunt were killed in the German death camps.
I want to live compassionately at each and every opportunity. I want to give away the love that's mine to give. I want to live compassionately.